the 5-1 profile is all about.
Have a
So,
look at this.
right. So whenever we do this share, we always like to use our lovely house analogy. So Danny, take it away.
Yeah, I won't go through all the other levels of the house. It's just that the fifth line for a personality is up on that second floor, and it's a little bit darker in that room as opposed to any place else because they're peering out. They're witnessing what's going on in the world. And if they're sensitive even a little bit, they'll recognize they're doing that because they're aware that there's a projection field upon them, wanting them to be something, do something. And so they sort of hang out looking behind the blinds, looking out, as opposed to their harmony, the second line on the first floor, that's just walking about, uh, aimlessly, not recognizing even that anyone's looking. So they're very different. So they're on the house, they're right next to the roof where that lady is on the roof, and they're basically a transpersonal voice, and they're technically the end of the hexagram's process, and the sixth line is the transitional process. So that's your fifth line.
There you go. So their core traits. They are fixers and problem solvers, and they're always coming up with the answers and solutions. They are dependable and constantly curious, and they do dare to go against the grain. So they have a unique approach with their solutions, and because of all this, they inspire trust in others
Hmm.
because they have this perceived reliability, right? The line 5 has a projection happening. So that's what that's coming from. And they strive to maintain integrity in problem solving. Anything to add, Danny?
These core traits are pretty dang good. Not really, just other than recognize that you're always projected on, and another core trait is all things practical. All things practical.
Hmm.
Yep.
Perfect. Would you like to take learning and
Yeah.
authority? Yeah.
Learning and authority, basically their way. Pressure from others is projections. Um, it's basically avoid measuring worth by expectations. You want to avoid yourself trying to expect things. It's just your learning strategy, and you want to avoid learning from others that expect something from you. Doesn't mean you can't learn anything from them. It's just recognize it's tainted. There is a taint to it. Um, Focus on being an authority in a specific field. And like Moni was saying, before we came on, there's a practicality to that. It's got to be something that lights you up, and it's also got to be something that not only can you be practical at, but that you can bounce out of afterwards to leave them wanting. That's actually a thing. Value lies in this purpose of transpersonal voice, of teaching the world something, of having this opportunity. And it's not just in helping others to have this opportunity to get a message out through the noise. That's a gift of this transpersonal voice. Balance responsibility to avoid burnout. The thing is, if you just allow yourself, you'll take on the responsibility of everyone, right? If you allow it, because everyone will want something from you. Um, it's a love for new projects, and new could just mean new aspects of the same projects. Challenges, stimulate. It's challenges and stimulates their many skills. Basically, is to witness that new things come along because you're always investigating underneath. You're always investigating and universalizing. So, learning and authority.
Right. So challenges and empowerment. So avoiding insecurity about foundational stability. So this is the line
Mhm.
1 theme, right? Feeling like you don't feel like you know enough. And because of that, you have this sense of insecurity. And line 1 is the foundation in the hexagram. So it feels like your foundation's not there. Um, so you have to let go and trust that you do have stability of good things and recognize the brilliance in your problem solving without shame. Okay. And differentiating between correct and incorrect projection. So when you notice it happening, don't be afraid to be vocal and call it out. And lastly, importance of being prepared with practical solutions. Anything to add?
Well, yeah, just that the fourth and fifth ones. That differentiation, witnessing the difference between practical and impractical projections, is really something you get to experiment with. Please do. And this whole being prepared, that's part of being practical. So it's just really important you start to see that. You'll see there's an energy that projects itself on you. It's a mechanic, it's real. It's not just, something that seems, sometimes there and sometimes not. It's there.
Hmm. Perfect. And lastly, Danny, take it away.
Take it away. So, in conclusion, balancing, educating, and directing the world with continual learning. This is just a huge gift. Operates best with plenty of self reflection. Again, there's that first line, the chameleon, and the preparedness. You just realize, in conclusion, you can't move anywhere until you feel prepared. If you do, it doesn't feel right. Recognize the power of being a stranger of consequence. This is a big deal. That's why what the people that project upon you receive in the first moments you speak. They're like, oh my God, it speaks. It's saying something. You become that stranger of consequence in that moment. Allow it. Allow it. Withdrawal periods for strength, skill, cultivation, putting things together, and getting out of their aura so that they can't keep lumping stuff on. And then the heretic investigators, that's the name of this 5-1, the heretic investigator. They thrive on providing practical solutions in crises and in just moderate crises, any kind of crises. So, practical solutions.